You have to unmute Niyati, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you. Hello, sir. Very good evening, and glad to see you. Um, Welcome all students and respected IIC committee members, faculty members, as well as the enthusiastic students, and our very first speaker of the series, Dr. Kamal C Vora. I shall take this opportunity, Kamal bhai, to introduce you first with PDEU, our university, a little bit about IIC, and then I shall introduce you to our dear students. So, a warm welcome to all of you. And PDEU, which was formerly known as Pandit Dindayal Petroleum University, offers different programs at undergraduate, postgraduate, and PhD level in the domains of science, technology, management, and humanities. It addresses and creates equitable opportunities for constructive growth. And that has been the vision and mission of our university. It offers rigorous academic programs, especially in energy education, with an aim to build sustainable communities. Under this banner of Pandit Dindayal Energy University, we have PDPU Innovation and Incubation Cell, which we fondly call PDPU IIC, which was established in 2014 and was formally recognized in 2017. It actually aims to provide the state of the art support and tries to facilitate the students who aim to become innovators, technocrats, and the entrepreneurs. So PDPU has incubated 110 plus startups as of now and is constantly in the progress of facilitating students with their innovative ideas, which are cutting across domains. IIC has also organized 100 plus events and have been able to sensitize students who are more than 20,000 in numbers. And the number just keeps growing, and we are very proud to become a greater and a larger family. Under the able leadership and guidance of our Director General and our very own Director of IIC, PDPU IIC has organized in-house 3 hackathons so far, and we are entering into the 4th edition to continue the series. So this is Let's Hack 4.0, and the theme of this hackathon is electric mobility and energy storage system. So let me put on record here that IIC is very much aware and conscious that talent, passion, intelligence, and leadership qualities do not fall along economic lines. And so the doors of IIC are always open to our young, enthusiastic minds across disciplines and backgrounds. So, with that note, we warmly welcome you, sir, and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to our very own students. Uh, so, dear students, today we have with us Dr. Kamal Kishore Vora, who have been a PhD from IIT Bombay and an expert in the domain of mechanical engineering, automobile engineering, and he has been in this domain, academia as well as industry, from past more than 35 years. So we can understand the vast experiential background that we have the professor with us today. Professor Dr. Vora has been associated with Walchand Nagar Industries, Emitech Emission Controls, Mahindra and Mahindra, Soft Skills, Engine and Emission Controls, and Electric Mobility. He's very much instrumental in starting ARAI Academy, which offers various academic programs with BTech, MTech, and PhD courses in automotive engineering in collaboration with various other universities. Presently, Dr. Vora is a Senior Deputy Director and Head at ARAI Academy, and he has been the recipient of Best Learning Center Award 2011 for ARAI Academy and Knowledge Center from the Indian Society for Training and Development at Pune. We really congratulate your efforts and congratulates and compliments to the university, to the academy. In 2014, students, Dr. Vora received Guru Award from SAE India Foundation at New Delhi for his immense contribution towards students and students' learning of India. He also received Quality Excellence Award for Teaching and Learning Practices in February 2016 and Lifetime Achievement Award by the Open International University Sri Lanka in September 2016. We are so honored to have you, sir, amongst us. Dr. Vora has been the Secretary, Treasurer, and Vice President of the Society of Automotive Engineers and conducts series of conferences, seminars, workshops, various courses for students' activities like AWIM and Baja Say India, if I have pronounced it correctly.
Baha.
Baha, all right. Our own PDU students have also participated in the Baha competitions. He is now the managing committee members of SAE India, Chair SAE India Faculty Development Committee, member of SAE International Engineering Meetings Board in USA, members of Congress Board of FISITA in UK, and SAE India Off-Highway Board. He was convener of SIAT 2015, technical chair of SAIT 2017, FISITA 2018, and SIAT 2019, and editorial chair of SIAT 2021. It's quite a remarkable journey that we can understand. Recently, Dr. Vora is nominated as chairman of ASDC Expert Group on electric vehicles and has taken up a big task of EV awareness across the country. And I think what is more suitable than invite Sir to talk about electric mobility opportunities and challenges in India as part of our Let's Hack 4.0 electric mobility and energy storage system. To conclude, Dr. Vora has 3 patents to his credits, 3 books that he has authored, 2 reports, 48 international papers, and 63 national papers to his credit. With this, I warmly invite Dr. Vora to kindly address our students. We are very glad to welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Drashti madam. Thank you very much. Dr. Kapadia, Dr. Dharmendra, Dr. Pragnesh Bhatt, Drashti madam, staff members, and my dear students. It gives me a pleasure to talk to all of you today evening and talk about opportunities and challenges in the field of electric mobility. Electric mobility is not a new subject. I must tell you that the first committee which sat in ARAI to formulate regulations for testing and certification of electric vehicle was formed in 1999. So you will imagine before 22 years, we had the first committee which was formed to discuss how do we test an electric vehicle and how do we certify an electric vehicle. And it's been a long journey where a small company called Electric Reva, it was called Reva Electric, and in Bangalore started producing a small electric car. It was a lead acid battery. Later on, this company was overtaken by Mahindra, and now it's called Mahindra Electric, and now they produce cars with lithium-ion batteries. So it's a long way. We progress slowly, steadily in India but other countries moved much faster. In Europe and in USA, they moved much faster. For example, USA moved very fast and started producing Tesla these days, but they also worked long back in 1900. So I would be talking about the history in time to come. So let me share the first slide. So madam, allow me to share the presentation. Share screen. It says host disabled. So can you please allow me?
It's done, sir. It's done.
Yeah. Here we are. Are you able to see the presentation?
Yes, sir.
And are you able to see the full screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, we can.
Fine, fine. And my voice is audible. All of you are able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So with this introduction, I would start my presentation on electric mobility, opportunities and challenges in India. So I would talk about ARAI. I'll talk about our portal called Technovus, where we are supporting the startups who are working in the field of electric vehicles. And then I will talk about what is India doing in the area of mobility and how it is progressing. And then what are the various new things which are happening in India and worldwide. And then I'll narrow down to electric mobility and then talk more about electric mobility. And at the end, I will talk about the skill development related to electric mobility. So many of you may be knowing, and some of you may not be knowing, ARAI stands for Automotive Research Association of India. And the aim of ARAI is empowering smart, safe, and sustainable mobility solutions. So when you say smart, the vehicle can be autonomous, vehicle can be connected, vehicle must be able to find out whether an accident is taking place or not and save it. And the vehicle must be safe. That means it must be 100% safe, and there must not be any accidents. It must be good for the people who are sitting inside the car, the pedestrians, and the car itself. And sustainable means it must not pollute. It must have less noise pollution, less automotive pollution, and probably less CO2, and hence electric vehicle. So we will talk about that. So that's ARAI. And there is a tagline called progress through research. So we believe more in research. So we started before 55 years in 1996 in the form of a small group of 4 people in ARAI. And today we are more than 700 employees in ARAI. We are based in Pune, and our job is testing, certification, research, development, and skill development. So we play a very crucial role in the country, and we formulate various standards and norms, including central motor vehicle rules, and help the government and various ministries like Ministry of Road Transport and Highway, Ministry of Industry, to release these standards and norms. So we have in Pune different branches. One is in Chakan and one is in Kothuru. 2 are in Chakan and 1 is in Kothuru. We have the state-of-the-art laboratory. Is it okay if I switch off my video here? Just one. Okay, fine. So we have the state-of-the-art laboratory. You tell them, and all those labs are there: noise and vibration lab, engine dynamometer lab, emission measurement lab, CAE lab, safety lab, where the crash test is done. So, and the electric vehicle test center. All these are available at ARAI. So we have an integrated R&D services. We help the automotive industry and the automotive component industry to design and develop products. We also formulate test methodology and test standards, as I told you. So homologation certification is our bread and butter. So any vehicle which is running on Indian road, whether it is made in India or made abroad, needs to be certified by us for emission, noise, safety, crashworthiness, fuel economy. All these tests are done. It takes around 3 months to test and certify a vehicle. And based on that certificate, we give them a type approval certificate. And this type approval certificate is shown to various state RTOs. And then the sale starts. Till then, the sale does not happen. In terms of product development, we help industry in structural dynamics, materials, electronics, engine and powertrain, noise, vibration, harshness, engine design and simulation. These are the various areas in which we help the industry. And we have an ARI Academy, where I belong to, where we have a learning center, training center, and knowledge center. We have various BTech, MTech, and PhD courses, and we also do more than 50 training programs in a year. These days, more and more programs are being done in the field of electric mobility. We also have a technology group who develop various technology and then transfer the technology. So recently, we have transferred technology to 5 companies who can manufacture indigenous charging stations. Even you, any of you want to manufacture a charging station, can talk to us and we can sell that technology to you to mass produce charging stations. Or there are so many things. We are now working on a special type of lithium-ion battery, which will be very cost effective. We have tied up with ISRO to use a design which they were using for a very, very long time in their rockets. So we give support to the startups and industry at each and every stage of their product development, whether it is for making a concept or for benchmarking or for design and simulation or for making prototypes, optimization, calibration, validation, and finally certification and sign-off. All this we have been doing it through various departments. And we have been empowering safe, smart, and sustainable mobility solution by using our expertise, our experience, and our equipments. For Indian mobility, CASE. What is CASE? I would be telling you. So we have a website called www.ariindia.com. We also have a website called www.academy.ariindia.com. And we have a very innovation portal called www.ari.technovus.com. So this Technovus is a technology and innovation site. All of you can become a member, whether you are a student, whether you are a faculty, or whether you are a professional, or you are an expert. You can become a member of this synergizing in technology and innovation website called Technovus. And here our aim is to ensure that the mobility is sustained. Mobility has become a very, very important part of our life, whether we want to travel from home to college and back, or we want to travel from home to office and back, or we want to transfer goods from one area to another, or we want to fly to USA. Everywhere mobility is becoming an essential part. And when I say mobility, anything which runs on air, land, sea, and space is all part of mobility. It's not just land. And hence, we help the industry. We believe in collaboration. We help people to innovate, to come out with concepts, their ideas, and we help them in technology development, in technology transfer, finding out solutions to their problems, mass production, and we give more stress on indigenous technology development to make India good in Make in India and also Atmanirbhar. So there is an acronym called CASE. C stands for connected and shared, A stands for affordable, S stands for safe, and E stands for environmental friendly and energy independence. Here in PDPU, energy is one of the very, very important words. and we cater to that also. So there are various areas in which we work together, and we are ready to help and support anyone who is interested to get help. So whether it is collaborative technology solution, or whether it's a consortium where we need to work together, or whether there are experts whose advice you need, or say we have around more than 500 experts on the portal, or technology discussion portal where we can discuss, we can have a group discussion, technology transfer portal where we can transport or transfer the technology which is developed by us or somebody else. We have a lot of resources like ebooks, papers, those are also available here. And we have a technology wall where you can put up your message, and we all can talk to each other through that technology wall. So that's about the Technovus. So if you are interested, you have to just go to www.technovus.ariindia.com and you can become a member. You can become a member as a student, as a faculty, as an expert, or as a professional. You can also become a member as an organization. So I am sure all of you are participating in this hackathon, and some of you are students of this university. What is important is that you just don't think of doing a good job or getting a good job in an automotive component manufacturer or an automotive OEM, but also you think of, I can become a teacher, I can become a faculty or a professor in an engineering college, or I can go abroad and do further studies and help my country from there, or I can start my own business, I can become a startup and later on grow up and become an industrialist. Whatever you want to do, everything is available under one roof, and we are there to help. So this is the website. In case you have some doubts, you can write to info@technovus.ariindia.com, and we'll be very happy to support you. So that was about AREI. That was about how ARI supports the industry and the startups. And now I'm going to slightly move forward and talk about what is India doing in the field of automotive engineering or in the field of mobility. So there is a word called AMP, which stands for Automotive Mission Plan. So you can just Google AMP, Automotive Mission Plan, and you will get a plan, a 10-year plan, which is from 2006 to 2016 and 2016 to 2026. So first I will talk about the first 10-year plan of 2006 to 2016, where we are talking about automotive industry taking a big stride in this 10 years, where we were 11th largest passenger vehicle manufacturer in the world to become 7th largest passenger vehicle manufacturer by 2016. By the way, in 2016, we were not 7th largest, but we became 6th largest passenger vehicle manufacturer in the world. We maintained our stand on commercial vehicle as the 4th largest and maintained our position of 2nd among two-wheeler manufacturers, China being the first one. We had an aim to contribute to the GDP of the nation from 5% to 10%. Yes, we were not able to meet 10%. It was around 8%. And we had decided that the employment will increase 3 times, the revenue will increase 4 times, and the exports will improve by 9 times. Yes, we were able to increase the employment in terms of revenue and export. We were not able to meet 100%. But what is important is that we tried meeting towards that goal and emerge as the destination of choice in the world for design and manufacture of automobiles and automotive components. So not just design, but also manufacturing. Then came 2016 to 2026, the next 10-year plan, where it has 3 magic numbers. I will tell you these 3 magic numbers: 3, 12, and 65. I will be very happy if someone looks at this screen and tell me what is 3, what is 12, and what is 65.
Hello, sir.
Yes, very good.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Just tell your name and go ahead.
Yeah, it's Karthike, and the 3 is basically the 3rd largest passenger vehicle manufacturer in the world, and
you.
12 is the GDP contribution of 12%,
Yes.
while 65 is the additional employment generation, which is the
Very
fourth.
good, Karthikeyan. So you are very attentive and you are listening to each and every word of mine. I'm very happy. Thank you very much for this. I really appreciate your answer. Yes, so correct. 3 stands for that we want to become the 3rd largest passenger vehicle in the world. So when I say passenger vehicle, it is cars and utility vehicles. And you will see that earlier we were targeting 7th largest passenger vehicle manufacturer in the world. And in 2016, we were already 6th. And from 6th, we wanted to become 3rd. And do you know where do we stand today? We are the 4th largest. We are around 5th largest passenger, but we are about to become the 4th largest passenger vehicle manufacturer in the world. And I am very confident by 2026, we will be as easily 3rd largest passenger vehicle manufacturer in the world after China and US. And our contribution to the GDP would be 12%. When I say our contribution, it is automotive and automotive component industry. And this will give additional employment to 65 million people. So your and my job are secured if we really work towards this automotive mission plan. So just type AMP and you'll get a document of what we are planning and how are we going to do that. Let's move ahead and talk about what are the key challenges to this mobility. So you know that these vehicles are expensive, 50,000 rupees or 1 lakh rupees or 2 lakhs rupees for a two-wheeler. Even if you buy an electric vehicle, it is costlier than an IC engine vehicle. And cars and three-wheelers and trucks and buses, all are very costly. So a very huge investment is required if me and you want to buy this vehicle. And this is all possible in cities where the standard of living is going high. You and me, when we become engineer and get a job, we start with a salary of 3 lakh rupees per year. So we can take a loan or we can save and buy a vehicle. But others cannot. So we will see that how many people in India are using vehicle. In my opinion, around out of 1,000, only 30 people have vehicles in India, and remaining 970 people do not have vehicle. Whereas in USA, out of 1,900 people have vehicles with them. Second thing is more and more people are shifting to cities. So it is said by 2030, 50% of the Indian population would be in major 50 cities. And hence, city is becoming more populated, more polluted, highly congested. And the speed of the vehicle has drastically gone down. And because of it, the pollution has increased, the noise has increased, accidents have increased. And then we use petrol and diesel, gasoline and diesel. And for this, we have to import crude petroleum and we pay on oil import bill. And finally, we are not good at driving. When we get chance, we run at very high speed and we cross the red signals. And then there are series of accidents and death. So these are the key challenges for the mobility in India and specifically to Asian countries. And we need to find solutions for this. So how do we find this solution? What are the threats? What are the opportunities? So you would see that growing economy, increasing consumerism and digital exposure. So if I want to buy a car, if I just say I want to buy a car, I will get hundreds of phone calls. I will get a lot of data on the internet and I will be confused of what to buy. And then I'll get a lot of discounts also everywhere. And your Android is very intelligent enough to give you what you want. So because of all these changes in India, in particular, in Asian countries in general, mobility has gone through a transformation. So what is this transformation? You remember there was a bus. So today also we have, AMT bus in Ahmedabad. We have BRT in Ahmedabad. We have railways in Ahmedabad. We have auto rickshaws in Ahmedabad where people, if they want to turn to right, they will put their feet outside and the right foot outside. And if they want to turn to left, they'll put the left feet outside. So and the taxis, we have been using this mobility structure. Things have changed a lot. And now by a click on your mobile, you can get an Ola, you can get an Uber with a driver, or even if you don't want a driver, you can get any car you want. Today, you can have a normal car. Tomorrow, you can have a Mercedes. Day after tomorrow, you can have any other car. And all this is possible by a click on your mobile, right? If you want to book a bus, then you can book it in www.redbus.in and so on. So these are the new ways of mobility, the faster way of mobility. Digitization has happened, and integrated mobility solution is now what is required is a last minute connectivity. So if I want to go from my home in Ahmedabad to PDPU in Gandhinagar, it is easy for me to go from home to Ahmedabad or Kalupur or Sabarmati. But it may be difficult for me to go to Gandhinagar, and then maybe I will go to a particular place and take a bus or Ola and so on. So what is important is how do we connect all these dots, and I can go from point A to point B by using multiple choices. The other area which we talked about was ACES, the technology. So we are now talking about autonomous technology, connected technology, electric mobility, and shared mobility. So we just talked about shared mobility, Ola, Uber, and others. But I must tell you that when we use our two-wheeler or four-wheeler from home to office or from home to college, we use only 5% of our vehicle. The percentage utilization of our vehicle is 5%. Rest of the time, it is kept in the parking. And when we are sleeping, it is there in our home parking. So only 5% we are using, remaining 95% we are not using, and hence advocacy towards shared mobility. Electric mobility is something which will give you zero emission in the place where you drive the vehicle. So if you have electric vehicle in the city, 50 cities which are highly polluted and populated, then in those areas the pollution will be less. Maybe somewhere else where the electricity is produced, the pollution will be high. But what is important is how do we cater to a major mass. And maybe if we use different source of energy like solar energy and tidal energy, wind energy, hydel energy, nuclear energy, then those pollutions also would not be there. So we need to work towards different form of energy which will be used for electric vehicles. Autonomous vehicles are yet to come to India, but there may be a requirement where in certain confined zone, say may from Bombay International Airport to Bombay National Airport, we can have an autonomous bus and it can go in a particular route and nothing happens. Connected vehicles are very, very important. When one vehicle can talk to another vehicle or one vehicle can talk to the infrastructure. So vehicle to vehicle communication, road to infrastructure, vehicle to infrastructure communication. So when you cross a toll naka, you don't have to wait. The toll will be detected directly, right? So this is all what examples of connected vehicle. I'll be talking about electric vehicle in detail. So instead of calling autonomous, connected, electric and shared mobility, which is an American acronym, we are calling as ACES, but the acronyms have changed. Affordable instead of autonomous, connected and shared, environmental friendly and energy secure, and safer mobility. So I will now quickly talk about connected and autonomous car for 5-6 slides, and then we jump down to electric vehicle. So you can see that when we drive the vehicle, we have a lot of sensors and actuators which help us to get connected, to understand what is happening around us, and that saves us from accidents. But how about each vehicle talking to one vehicle talking to other and keeping a safe distance? And when two vehicles come very near to each other, then immediately we will understand the vehicle has come very near to me and I need to do something. So these are all what connected vehicle will do, the well-informed vehicle will do. The next is an autonomous vehicle. There are different stages. SAE has defined various stages, L0 to L5. And L0 is a normal vehicle which is driven 100% by a driver, where he changes the gear of his own and he brakes of his own. And then as the level becomes difficult and difficult, the driver gets more and more rest. And in level 5, the driver disappears. And the chair tilts and you can have a round table conference inside the car. And no one looks towards the steering wheel. No one looks towards the window. The vehicle drives of its own. It's an intelligent vehicle, which is an autonomous. So this is what we are looking at. And we are today now in level 0 or level 1. And we aspire to become level 2. And in future, when the country it is suitable, we will go ahead with level 4 and 5. Okay, I'm going to move now slightly faster. I have completed around 22 slides and around 60 slides are remaining. So I will move faster. So artificial intelligence, natural language understanding, pattern recognition, face recognition, use of MATLAB, Python, this have become very, very important these days. And we all need to learn, even if it is not there in syllabus, please learn subjects like MATLAB and Python, start using them. With this, I now concentrate on the electric mobility. So as I told you that India worked before 22 years on electric mobility, but in worldwide, in 1830s, Germany and USA worked on engines, on vehicles, and you will be surprised to know that from 1889 to 1897, there were fleet taxis introduced in Paris and New York, which were electric vehicles. And in 1907, Detroit Electric started manufacturing electric vehicles. Unfortunately, a year after that, in 1908, Henry Ford started mass-produced T Ford model. And when the mass production started about a car with an IC engine, people stopped working on electric vehicle because this was much cheaper and easy to maintain and faster. And hence electric vehicle disappeared somewhere in 1935 till there was an oil crisis in 1963, and then it resurfaced back saying that we will use alternate energy, we will use electric vehicle energy, and look at this oil crisis. So oil crisis was a boon to us. We were able to do something new. Also in California, in Los Angeles, very city of rich, the actor, actress, directors, and they all stay in a valley surrounded by hill, and on the top of the hill is the Bollywood. And there they had a problem in 1970. There was so much of congestion and all gas guzzling cars, so much of pollution. And that is the time when the California Air Resource Board was formed, CARB, and they decided what are these emissions, how do you measure them, what limit should be there, and that's how it started. The first emission norm was introduced by CARB, and they said that the emission has to be drastically reduced. We have to use after treatment device like catalytic converter, and then only it will be worth staying in this place. Otherwise, we'll have to ban this place. So yes, maturity prevailed, and people. Corning was the first company to manufacture catalytic converter in 1970s, and the new norms came in somewhere in 1996 and 1976, and that's how we started getting cleaner air. But somewhere in 1990, the California government said that we want cars which are zero emission. And when you all know that when I say zero emission, it are electric vehicles. And with electric vehicle, and that's how electric vehicle became more popular. It is popular in India, but more popular in Japan, USA, and Europe. So that's the international market. So what are the problems which electric mobility will solve? In terms of economics, we will have an advantage. We don't have to import the crude petroleum. In terms of society, we will take care of the increasing traffic, urbanization, increased population, and so on. In terms of environment, higher the pollution, higher is the climate change and global warming. And then it becomes a viscous circle. And then the CO2 emission rises substantially to cut across the ozone layer in the sky. And hence, we need a strong policy and standards. So the emission standards were formulated for BS6 recently and launched. And CO2 emissions are also being worked on. There are international policies with which we must align. So there is a need to social change, resource depletion and urbanization characteristics for the future of mobility. Okay, so let's go ahead. Yeah. So you would see that CO2 emissions are becoming higher and higher, an important criteria. Today we have no norms, they are self-imposed norms. So transportation sector uses CO2 maximum or the fuel maximum, followed by electric power generation. industry, agriculture, commercials and residential. So we have to move towards zero emission, and the only way to have zero emission is to use fuel which emits minimum, and electric vehicle would be one of the best option. So today in India, so can anyone tell me how many vehicles do we produce in India?
Uh, 26.1 million.
Yeah, very good, very good. So you were smart enough to total those four numbers. Yes, so India produced last year 25 to 26 million vehicles, out of which the major chunk, 80% of the vehicles are two-wheeler. You can see that we produce around 25 million vehicle, and I must tell you, we must congratulate India because last year in the year 2020, we were second largest two-wheeler manufacturer. We became the largest two-wheeler manufacturer in the world. We surpassed China and produced 21 million two-wheelers. Okay, we are now working towards zero emission vehicle. Okay, so what are these zero emission vehicles? These are basically electric vehicles. And if you use a gasoline vehicle, then there will be a lot of CO2 emission, NOx emission. And if you use a diesel vehicle, the particulate matter would be high. If you use gasoline vehicle, the particulate matter would be comparatively lower in terms of mass. And if we use an electric vehicle, which is charged on the grid, then the CO2 emission will drastically reduce, NOx emission will reduce, and PM particulate matter may remain the same. Now, if you want to make CO2 zero and NOx zero, then we must have an EV charge with renewable. So a solar vehicle, electric vehicle, or charging through solar. For example, in Cochin, we have the entire airport which runs on solar energy. There is no captive electricity used there. On the contrary, they produce electricity and give it back to the station. So if we are able to use wind energy or solar energy, and we don't use any fuel in the car, then we will have zero CO2 emission, NOx emission, PM. However, it is a costly affair and not a practical affair. So there are many who are trying, and there are many people who are trying to buy them with that sense of maturity and responsibility that if we really want to reduce pollution, then we must first start buying electric vehicle, irrespective of its cost. Maybe thoda cost 10% zyada hai, to we will absorb, but let us promote this, right? And that's how it starts. Okay. So you would see that worldwide there is a trend to use more and more electric vehicle. Countries like Finland, South Korea, Australia, and Netherlands are moving very fast to produce electric vehicles. And India is also trying to meet the race. And you would see that there are different types of electric vehicle, battery electric vehicle, and battery hybrid electric vehicle, and so on. And you'll see how their share is increasing day by day, but the growth is not enough. So Norway is the first country where by today, more than 50% of the vehicles which are sold in the market are electric vehicles. Then comes other countries like Iceland, Sweden, Netherlands. You will see India nowhere here. There are three countries, that is China, USA, and Norway. These are the three countries who produce maximum electric vehicle. And it is this country, that is China, Europe, and USA, together is working very hard to introduce more and more electric mobility solutions in worldwide. And India is also following the same thing. Okay. So India has the potential to sell electric vehicle in large number to curb the menace of degrading air quality index. So you would see in 2017-18, what was the sale in the extreme bottom left corner? And in 18-19, what was the sale? Yes, the sale increased. And in 19-20, also the sale increased. In 2021, the sale slightly went down. It's going down, but I'm sure we will cover it up maybe next 6 months, and we will cover it. So there is a prediction by Livemint, which says, or Goldman Sachs, which says that by 2030, India will be using more of electric energy. And the penetration may be around 30%. So this prediction says that the penetration by 2030 would be around 8%. But there are others who can say that it may vary between 8% to 30%. Okay. So what is the policy roadmap? The policy roadmap is the government is very strong. It came out with National Electric Mission, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan, NEMMP. This also you can Google and download the booklet. This was in 2013, and then the FAME scheme was declared in 2015. FAME 2 was declared in 2019, and so on. So we have not stopped. We continue working in all these areas and make electric vehicle more stronger. Okay. So I talked to you about National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020, which envisions sale of 6 million vehicles. FAME, the full form of FAME is faster adoption and manufacturing of hybrid and electric vehicle in India. This is mooted through Niti Aayog in Delhi, and it incentivizes the EV ownership by subsidizing upfront cost of purchase combined with GST rate slashed. Then we have EESL has floated tenders for four-wheeler electric vehicle, first general of public electric vehicle charger standard set. And we look at the growth of the EV in the shared mobility sector like Ola, Uber, Blue Smart, Electric Field, e-bike, and so on. So Niti Aayog says that India will leap ahead. There will be a transformative mobility solution for all. And more people would start using renewable energy is what is the aim. Okay. So this is that National Electric Mission, National Electric Mobility Mission Plan 2020. And you will see that our XEV projection for 2020 is 4.8 lakhs. And total vehicle sale is around, included together, is around 32 lakhs. And the penetration of XEV in India would be around 15%. Okay. So India as a whole expects 100%. Okay, fine. So I told you that many of you may aspire to become a startup. So there are already so many startups in India. Ether Energy was the first startup in the electric two-wheeler. And then we have like Piaggio, we have CEO of Hero Motopuug, and then we have various training programs. So I was talking about how the ecosystem in India is working, and we have more and more younger generation who is ready to take the risk and start their own manufacturing, right? So we call them as startups. And there is a very good awareness on startup. Our government is giving a lot of support. And that's what the Pandit Deen Dayal University is also working towards. And I'm sure that this movement of Startup India, Make in India, Skill India, Digital India, all this which has started from by our own Prime Minister has accelerated the growth of startups across India. And ARI has been supporting all these startups, whether it is tomorrow, if you want to see, we have so many millions of 250 million vehicles running on Indian roads. We have an old Bajaj scooter also running with two-stroke engine on Indian roads. We are not able to remove them, right? The scrappage policy has not been so strong to remove all those vehicles. In India, the life of the vehicle is higher than the life of a human being, right? Dada પણ વાપરે, બાપ પણ વાપરે, બેટો પણ વાપરે. હા, બેટાને ગમે નહીં પણ વાપરવું પડે. So what is important is that we can remove the engines, two-stroke engines from there. We can put an e-kit and convert into an electric vehicle. and the vehicle can get more life for another 15 years. So that is one method of doing a small business of developing an e-kit. So we have an AIS standard, 1, 2, 3, just make a kit, get it approved by us, and then you can start selling, right? Like CNG kits, LPG kits, we can work on e-kit also. Similarly, you can start a business of two-wheeler swapping. There are many two-wheeler manufacturers, electric two-wheeler manufacturer who says, oh, the two-wheeler is very expensive. It is more than 1 lakh rupees because the cost of the battery is itself more than 50,000 rupees. So what they will sell the vehicle without battery and you can give it on rent, 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees per month. So these are small things which you can think of and start a business, slow, steady. You can just start a business of charging a battery, or you can take up a charging station, maybe near a theater or near a restaurant, and say that anybody wants to charge, I am there to charge. You can also do it just outside the campus of the university or even in the parking. So there are so many ideas by which you can become a startup, and we are there to help you in that. Okay, fine. So with this, so you all know the success story of Ether Energy, where 2 boys, engineering boys from IIT Chennai, they did a small project on electric two-wheeler, and later on they converted this into a mass production, and today they are among the top 3 electric two-wheeler manufacturers in India. And today, those 2 guys who are less than 30 years of age today are the managing director and CTO of the company. So that is the success story which I look forward from all of you. Fine. So we need to work on certain policy decisions, like how do we reduce the cost of the battery, from where do we get lithium. So our country, our Niti Aayog, the think tank, has signed MOU with Argentina, Bolivia, from where the lithium would come. We need to work on designs which are very cost effective. We need to have battery sizes which are adaptive, and each vehicle must have a similar battery size. We need to work on supply chain. There are so many components in electric vehicle which are being imported from China, and somehow we are finding out methods. How do we avoid importing from China and become Atmanirbhar? We need to revamp the entire energy sector to meet the demand. So we have fear that if everyone starts using electric vehicle, तो फिर घर में light कहाँ से आएगी, गांव में light कहाँ से आएगी? There is so much of energy which is being planned in terms of solar energy, hydel energy, wind energy, that I don't think that there will be any shortage of electricity. Even in each and every house, we can have a solar panel on the terrace. So promoting battery swapping, energy. India is the only country which is allowing battery swapping, and there is a standard for it. And India is the only country which is allowing e-kit, retrofitment of e-kit. So there is a very good scope for startups in India. And that's how we will have to develop an entire ecosystem which will help everyone. So whether it is related to raw material supply, traditional component supply, battery manufacturer, OEM, utility in energy infrastructure, we all need to work in this area towards Indian road towards electrification. So I have a question for you, and maybe before that I'll complete a couple of slides and then we move ahead. So yes, so we need to work on, say, for example, battery. We need to work on recycling. We need to work that how battery pack assembly would be done, how electric vehicle would be manufactured. So there are a lot of qualification packs being developed where you all can run on this. What are the different materials used in the battery? Which will be cheaper? Which will be more efficient? Which will be charging faster, and so on. And so we have a national mission on transformative mobility and battery storage, which was set up by Government of India in March 2009 with Niti Aayog as the chairman. And under this scheme, a phased manufacturing program will be launched, which would bolster the manufacturing of indigenous components. So you can see some of the manufacturers who are working on battery manufacturing. And we also need to work on getting lithium, as I said, Bolivia, Argentina, and other countries. And if we do mass production of battery production, if we do a mass production of batteries, then the cost per battery would drastically come down and the cost of the vehicle would come down. So we need to all work in that area. Now there are three anxieties. Whenever I want to buy an electric vehicle, there are three anxieties. So can anyone tell me what are the anxieties? Yes, anxiety when we buy an electric vehicle is the range. If I want to go from Ahmedabad to Baroda and back without charging, is it possible? I don't have to wait in the highway. There is nothing on the highway. So I want more than 250 kilometers of range. And if it is not there, I am worried. That is first anxiety. Second anxiety is of the cost. The cost of the vehicle is very high. What do? I cannot afford that. Just for the sake of environment, I cannot afford to pay so much cost. So that is the second anxiety. And when will this cost come down so that I can buy electric vehicle? The third anxiety is how fast can I charge my car? I just don't have time. I want to charge it in 5 minutes. Can I do it? And at a very low cost. So companies like Ether Energy are allowing charging free of charge, and they have many charging stations across the city. So that's fine. But suppose if I go for a movie and if I'm able to charge, it would be great. So then can we have a charging station near a theater? Can we have a charging station near a restaurant? Can we have a charging station near a mall? This is what is being done to reduce the anxiety. So we need to work on. We can charge, say, a bus or a truck can be charged overhead, or then we can have a solar panel. So we have a competition where electrical must solar panel. And so as I told you, how much time, how fast can I do? So we have fast charging station, we have slow charging stations, we have different methods of charging. We need to innovate in this area. So we have started innovating in the charging solutions. The next is battery swapping. So you don't have time. Come to us. We will just remove the battery, give you the fresh battery or a charged battery, and you move ahead. We can do it in 2 minutes. So you will be surprised to know that in Ahmedabad there are 50 electric buses running, and all these buses have batteries which are very heavy. The batteries have to be removed by crane, swapped, and the bus moves on. The bus does not have to wait for the charging. So there are intelligent solutions available for charging. We need to all use such solutions and move ahead. So a lot of innovation you can do in charging. Today we don't have much charging infrastructure, but you can create such system where you can wash your vehicle, you can charge your vehicle, others' vehicle, and earn out of it, right? So various frameworks need to manage vehicle to vehicle, vehicle to grid, vehicle to infrastructure. We need to all work in this area. And the framework for the grid support for used batteries. So as I told you, the cost of the battery is almost 50%, 30 to 50% of the cost of the vehicle. And with mass production, this cost would come down. It has already started coming down from 2018 to 2020, and it will further come down. I'm sure the cost of the battery would be 30% of the cost of the vehicle in time to come, or the vehicle, the OEM would sell the vehicle without battery and you can take it on rent. So there is a need to revamp the entire energy sector and work on that. And our country is really working on it through Niti Aayog. A lot of commitment is there. Government of India has set a target for installation of a rooftop solar projects of 40 gigawatts by 2020, including installation of rooftop of houses. So I think the new buildings which will be constructed, they will be asked to have a solar rooftop. So from EV charging market point of view, there is good scope of business, and we need to work in those areas. Coming back to ARAI, how can we support you? We have all the facilities required, as I told you, testing and certification, research and development, and skill development. So whether it is electric motor, whether it is C analysis of this all components, whether it is battery, whether it is material for battery, whether it is charging, or various testing in an environmental chamber or in electromagnetic compatibility, or using various software from NSYS, Altair for its simulation, or structural dynamics of electric vehicle. Everything is available under one of you. Working 3 shifts. So there is one more website called www.emobility.ariindia.com, and you will get more details about electric vehicle on this website. Now, the last 2 parts, how is testing and certification of electric vehicle is done, and skill development. These are the 2 areas. So maybe I'll take 10 minutes on each of them. So as I told you, the first committee set up to formulate the norms for electric vehicle was in 1999. And then in 2003, the AI standard. So before BI standard is formed, Indian standards are formed, we formulate automotive industry standards. So AI is a secretariat for those standards. We call all like-minded people, automotive industry, component industry, SIAM, so Society of Indian Manufacturers, automotive manufacturers, ECMA, automotive component manufacturers. We all sit together and formulate the norm. It's a win-win situation where everyone agree, gave their views, and then the standard is released in the form of AIS, which are later on converted into BI standard. So for battery operated vehicle, the first AI standard came in 2003, and then it became mandatory from 1st April 2005. So these are the various standards. The standards can be for OEM, that means there is a standard for electric vehicle certification, standard for hybrid electric vehicle certification, standard for charging stations, standard for retrofitment. I talked to you about AIS 123, which is the standard for retrofitment, and whether it is two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, all the standards are there. So you have divided the standards in 6 parts. Electric vehicle standards are like AIS 38, 39, 40. For the battery itself is the most crucial part. It must not get hot. It must not rupture. It must not leak. It must not catch fire. So there is an AIS standard 048, very, very strong and strict standard. We have all the facility to test batteries. Then the chargers. Then there is a separate standard AIS 102 for hybrid vehicles. Retrofitment AIS 123. And we already have certified at least 5 retrofit devices. And people have started already retrofitting. And there are so many other miscellaneous standards. Okay. So whenever you want to test and certify an electric vehicle, it has to route through all these standards, and each and every standard needs to be met by that electric vehicle before we give the certification. Yes, so there is, now I'll talk about the skill development. There is a need. Electric vehicles have suddenly come in, but who is going to do the skill development? Who is going to teach electric vehicle? Who is going to teach how to repair and maintain electric vehicle? Who is going to teach how to charge the electric vehicle? Who is going to work at the charging stations? Who is going to work in the factory to design and manufacture electric vehicles? So there is a disruptive technology which is driving the need to bridge the gap of the workforce competency. We need to work in this area. So there are many research being done, analysis being done by McKinsey, CNBC, Randstad, and based on that, it is clearly understood that we all need to work towards this. And AR has taken the first step to work towards electric mobility skill development. Also, there are companies who are manufacturing engines like Cummins, Evtech, and so many other companies, Caterpillar. They need to also understand that this workforce will become redundant if they stop manufacturing engines. So they need to be reskilling. So unskilling, reskilling is another area which we need to work on. So we started in 2015 a competition called E-Baha. It is pronounced as Baja, but it is spelled as Baja, but pronounced as Baha, and a Mexican word. So an electric buggy manufacturing competition started in 2015. Every year, more than 50 teams across India, a team of 25 engineering college students, make electric vehicle and come to the Pithampur where this competition is held. And it is expected that if we do this, then by 2030, in the next 10 years, the penetration of electric vehicle would be 30%. Today, it is less than 1%, but we are confident in the next 10 years, there will be more than 30% electric vehicles which will be sold out of the total vehicle in India. So we have started an electric vehicle awareness program. It's a free program. Any college student can call us, any college faculty can call us, and we will do a half-a-day session on electric vehicle awareness program. And if the pandemic recedes, we will come with an electric two-wheeler, electric car. We'll open up. We'll show you all the parts. How does the battery look like? How the temperatures are measured? How the thermal management is done? Where is the motor? Where is the battery? What is BMS, battery management system? All these things in half a day we do. We did one in Nirma College. We did one in LD College, and we can do in more colleges. So Automotive Skill Development Council, AICTE, is supporting this, and this is all mooted through Ministry of Heavy Industry and Public Enterprise, Department of Heavy Industry. Okay. ARI has a very strong contribution in the development of e-mobility ecosystem, not only through testing and certification and research and development. We have done this awareness program in more than 15 colleges, and we have trained more and more students and faculty. We have arranged poster presentation competition, essay competition, and given away the prizes. And it has been very successful, I must tell you. So in case anybody wants, we are ready to come to the college and do this. Right now it is online. Maybe from July, August, when the pandemic recedes, we can physically come and do it. So we are also working on e-learning modules. So a lot of e-learning modules are come up. So if you have a requirement of 1 credit or 2 credit, you can join these courses. They are on electric vehicle, non-electric vehicle area, and many areas. We do series of training program. Before 10 years, we started with 3 training program per year. And last year we did 52 training program, more than 50 training program in a year. Online, offline, and like 25 to 200 people come and join the training program. And we have the best partners who can help us in this training program. In area of electric vehicle, we have lined up around 11 training program in this year. And there are other training programs also, like testing, certification, alternate fuel, emission. We have come up with a new proposal called electric vehicle. This is called a qualification pack. And we are helping ASDC, Automotive Skill Development Council. And 2 modules have come up. One is electric vehicle test engineer. So by the time you finish your degree of BTech, you can also become a certified electric vehicle test engineer. And you have to devote 6 weeks for this. So first 2 weeks are together, and then every month you have to come for 1 week in a month or 1 week across 45 days. And in like that, in 9 months, you can finish this course, give the exam. You will get hands-on experience in the laboratories of AREI. This program is starting from 5th July, but I am not sure whether it will start or not, because this program requires physical training and not online training. So in case the pandemic recedes, we'll start on 5th July. Otherwise, we'll postpone it for a month or 2. So electric vehicle test engineer is the qualification type approved by ASDC. We have also started a postgraduate diploma in electric mobility, where 20 students from CUAP, 20 students from Pune University, and 20 girls from Cummins College of Engineering Pune joined this course. Totally 60. So to diversity, 20 girls out of 60 who would join this course. This course has already started. The first batch has passed. The second batch is going on. And the third batch admission is going to start from this month. It's a 1-year course of 3 trimesters. The first trimester, which is done in the college campus, like it can be done in Ahmedabad. Second trimester is done at AREI in Pune. And the third trimester is a project where you can work in electric vehicle manufacturing company like Mahindra, Tata, or many startups, or 2-wheeler and 4-wheeler manufacturers. We have started one more course last year, which is called Postgraduate Diploma in Electric and Autonomous Vehicle. So not only electric vehicle, you will also learn autonomous vehicles. So we are successful in developing an autonomous car before 4 years. And just last month, we developed an autonomous tractor. That means the tractor can move without any driver. So these are the courses, and there is an online course also of 1 year, where if you are working, then while working, you can do this course in the evening, or if you're not working, you can do a full-time course. So these are the programs which we are already doing, and we are also discussing with PDPU for such programs for all of you. So there also it's a 3 trimester and the project in the 3rd trimester. So we believe that we are not master in all. So we have tied up with all the training partners, and we take the best training partner and conduct the training program. So in each and every training program, we have more than 300 visiting faculty whom we have authorized who can come and teach. We also do an internship program. So we have a 1-month internship program on hybrid electric vehicle. This program is starting from 1st July. And it is totally online. So if anybody is interested, 1st July to 3rd August is an online 1-month certified virtual internship training program on hybrid electric vehicle. Then, as I told you, we have developed 10 qualification packs for ASDC, whether it is an electric vehicle driver, electric vehicle salesperson, electric vehicle assembler, electric vehicle maintenance, electric vehicle quality control, electric vehicle test engineer, and design engineer. These are the qualification packs which we have released through ASDC, and we can do training in any of these areas. And series of training program we are going to do in the time to come. My last 2 slides, I would say that there is a competition not only in Baha, e-Baha, we are also have launched a competition called ESVC, Electric Solar Vehicle Championship, there where we have to make a formula type of solar vehicle, electric vehicle, and then top up with a solar panel. So we have signed an MOU with ISI for the India biggest solar car rally from Delhi to Pune or Chandigarh to Pune. And this rally is going to start in March 2022. It will start from Chandigarh or Delhi and it will end up in Pune in 7 days. So in 7 days, you will cover the distance from Delhi or Chandigarh to Pune. So that's all from my side. I talked to you about electric vehicle. I will talk to you about the scenario of electric vehicle, the challenges, the opportunities for the startup, and the skill development, the courses. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask. Thank you very much.